Vasudevaya Vandeham Sigurum Sigutapadakamalam Sigurum Vaishnavamscha Shirupam Shagrayatam Shahaganaragunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savatutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitam Scha Mukam Karuti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatam Maham Mande Shri Guru Dinakaranam. Great surprise we found today as the Yamuna overnight has risen many meters, and all the work which was done by the municipality is now covered by water. It's surprising. You cannot see anything of the work. I don't know. Maybe the work disappeared, or I don't know, but now it's only water. And very, very interesting, that development. It's very badly organized. They pulled up all the pipes from the previously mismanaged black water and just left the pipes there. Now the pipes are underwater again. It's quite a havoc. Now we pray that Yamuna will come out victorious and beautified, as it is really, really deserving. Oh Krishna, Krishna, you only know what you want to make with your beloved Yamuna. Even Lord Balaram took his plow and dredged the Yamuna into several areas. So we are surprised from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Our beloved, most auspicious Srimad Bhagavatam. One of the most amazing literatures which I have seen in the world, because it talks to you from the transcendental plane. It doesn't talk to you from the relative, rational thinking of human beings, but it talks to you from the absolute face plane, the plane there where infinite is worshipped as the supreme. Yesterday in our trip we were talking about axiomatic truth, and in that conversation we talked about the point and the zero and the old mathematics of India. There are so many higher truths which are definitely, they're irrefutable. So why should Krishna not be irrefutable? Here we're reading from Canto 3, Kapila's instruction to Devahuti on devotional service, chapter 28, text number 41. Drindriyanta karanat pradhanat jiva It's very small, can't read it. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as Param Brahma, is a seer. He is different from the Jiva soul, or individual living entity, who is combined with the senses, the 5 elements and consciousness. Srila Prabhupada explains, a clear conception of the complete whole is given herewith. The living entity is different from the material elements, and the supreme living entity, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the creator of the material elements, is also different from the individual living entity. This philosophy is propounded by Lord Chaitanya as Achinta Bheda Vida Tattva. Everything is simultaneously one and different from everything else. The cosmic manifestation created by the Supreme Lord, by his material energy, is also simultaneously different and non-different from him. The material energy is non-different from the Supreme Lord, but at the same time, because the energy is acting in a different way, it is different from him. Similar, the individual living entity is one with and different from the Supreme Lord. Is simultaneously one and different. Living entities are compared to the sparks of fire. As stated in the previous verse, fire, flame, smoke and firewood are combined together. Here the living entity, the material elements, the Supreme Personality of Godhead are combined together. The exact position of the living entity is just like that of the sparks of a fire. They're part and parcel. The material energy is compared to the smoke. The fire is the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. In Vishnu Purana it is said that whatever we can see as experience, either in the material or spiritual world, is an extension of a different energy of the Supreme Lord. As fire distributes its light and heat from one place, the Supreme Personality of Godhead distributes the different energies all over his creation. The four principles of the Vaishnava philosophy, doctrine are Shuddha Dvaita, purified consciousness, Dvaita Dvaita, simultaneously one and different, Vishishta Dvaita, and Dvaita. As all four principles of Vaishnava philosophy are based on the thesis of Srimad Bhagavatam explained in these two verses. Shakshun militam jenetas Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manubhistam Stapitam Jenabhutale Svayam Rupakadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Guranga Radha Bracha Mohan ki jai. O Gauranga. So this topic is a very popular topic because philosophically it is always coming into necessity to explain how everything exists, by what power it exists, to what extent it exists. It's really amazing, no? So our spirit, then everything ends up into the one homogeneous substance called Brahman, where there's no more individuality. It means there's no more you and me, there's only we, us. And that we and us doesn't have a personality, it doesn't think, it doesn't feel. In other words, Mayavadi philosophy means we want to cease to exist as individuals. with our individual traits and individual pains and sorrows. This is not all strange, because with so many pains and sorrows which we experience in this material world, sometimes people think about suicide. What does it mean? They don't want to exist anymore. They don't want to know anything. They don't want anything nice, and they don't want anything bad. They just don't want anything. That's a foolish idea, because you cannot kill the soul. You can kill the body, but you cannot kill the soul. So as soon as you kill your body, you will have to accept another type of body again. Because this accepting bodies is by the grace of the Supreme. Like a fire, in fire comes sparks, smoke, heat. All this comes from the fire. If you take away some of the heat, if you take away a spark, the fire will produce new spark. It will always be there. But the sun rays, even the sun rays go into this place here. Right now, whatever sun comes through the door, that is coming directly from the sun. Got many corners and reflections, but it even enters here. So, the nature of the Supreme is that everything depends on Him, but He wants to give you individual freedom, individual determination. Can you imagine? You have individual capacity. You have the power of determination, what you want to do. Do you want to stay in India, or do you want to go abroad? Do you want to be a business person, or do you want to be a preacher? Do you want to study the Srimad Bhagavatam, or do you want to study some nonsense fictions and romance? It's all up to you. We know that because we are acting under that independence since time immemorial. Nobody obliges me to sit here and give a Bhagavatam class. Absolutely no. Only by your kindness you have come and listened. So I have a little audience to talk. But it is my decision to give the class. Of course, my Guru, they've taught me, preach, give classes all the time. And I'm telling my friends, my companions, I'm always telling them, preach, also give Bhagavatam classes. Sit with the people, explain to them. Like I suppose when you're in Kumudvan and the people come, you have to explain to them what is Kumudvan, what is Brahma Sarovar, Brahma Saga, Ganga Saga. You have to explain all these things, these kathas, these lila kathas. So another thing we are explaining is the philosophy. What about this Bhagavatam philosophy? Achinta Veda Veda. Is this a monumental gift to humanity? Achinta Veda Veda. The Supreme Lord is one and different at the same time. Like for example, we are in this room, so we are all one in this room. Connected, the air, atoms are between us, we are confined in the stone building, but now we are all one in this building. But this oneness does not mean that we are not individuals. As a matter of fact, our life's meaning becomes manifest Because we are individuals. Because we want to do something. We have some idea and we want to pursue that idea. Sometimes we have to accept duties which we are not very happy about. And sometimes we are having duties which we feel so delighted and so happy to do. So in this way, this material world is always going on functioning. But at the same time, we are all one in this room right now. But to say that we are all one and there's no more distinction between us doesn't make any sense. It is a wishful thinking. How can we become one? If I have a mind of my own and you have a mind of your own, and you have an intelligence of your own and you have an intelligence of your own, and you have desires of your own and I have desire of my own. And sometimes our desires might join together, no? Two persons have the same desire and then they do whatever they like. Maybe they take a trip to South India together or something like that, no? That is happening. But by the nature of this world, everything is always torn apart. Like usually by the impulse of desires, one goes one direction, the other one goes another direction. But we are still all one in the cosmic energy. We cannot escape the cosmic energy. We cannot escape the Bahiranga Shakti, the material energy. We cannot escape our own real identity, Antaranga Shakti. And we cannot ignore our conditioned state, where we are right now foolishly searching around for a meaning of life. Tatashta Shakti. All these things are going on simultaneously. Therefore, we follow this Bhagavatam philosophy because it is so extremely advanced and perfect. It is the only explanation, you see, that we are one and different at the same time. Why? Because the Supreme Lord has made it in that way. You have not made it this way. You cannot say, I decided that I will be born here or there. No. You are under the control of the Supreme, and you always will be. But don't worry. He loves you. You don't have to worry. Ooh, I'm under the control of somebody. How horrible. No. Control of the Supreme Lord is not horrible at all. But He has given you free will. He has given you independence. He has given you the chance to be a rebel or to be a surrendered devotee. Now, what is your choice? That is the question. What is your choice? But in any condition, you will always be part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. That Supreme Lord being above you, that Supreme Lord, that Supreme Lord wanting to have a relationship with you in devotion, that is eternally constitutionally. But if you tell the Lord, I don't want to have anything to do with you, I want to be God myself, or I want to annihilate my individual existence, don't tell me anything else, I only want to disappear into this Brahman or whatever. Any questions to this subject? It's very philosophical. It's very true. You cannot deny it. We all belong to the same original truth. Even though we are so, so different, so individual, extremely individual we are. Because Krishna likes variety. Variety is the spice of life. Sometimes we want to live in the city, sometimes we want to live in the countryside. Sometimes we want to be married, and sometimes we want to be a tyagi, renunciant, have nothing to do with any of the materialistic concerns. But whatever, married or not married, you belong to the same Lord. Beautiful, young or old, you belong to the Supreme Lord. Everybody is included forever. You cannot get out of His loving outreach. It's a fact. Cannot get away from His outreach. Nor do you need to get out of His outreach, because He is your perfect well-wisher. Whatever He wants for you is good. But you have to come to conclude it, and you have to agree with it. Because when you get a spiritual master, and a spiritual master will give you so many ideas what to do. And those things, they are the projects of Krishna. So if you start helping and organizing the projects of Krishna, then your life becomes completely spiritualized. Not one question?
La diferencia entre la simple peda y la pequeña libertad individual que nos da a todas las entidades vivientes. ¿Cómo podemos mezclar esos dos conceptos para no utilizar esa libertad que usar?
The minute independence is part of the divine will. Krishna did not want to create robots. You know, nowadays you can buy robots. They do everything you want. And people buy them to make factories with robots. And Krishna didn't want to have robots. Krishna wants His loving devotees. And they are one with Him, but at the same time they are His children. They are maintained by Him. Like father and mother and children, they are one. But what do you mean? The children have to grow up and have to do their own thing. And there's the elderly parents, and the children see, oh, my parents, here they are. Jai. Jai Shri Hari. Achinta Veda Tattva Ki Jai. One of my godbrothers, he made a PhD explaining Achinta Veda Tattva. Jai. Yes. Speak loud.
I went yesterday to one of my friends. He invited me to go to the Vishwananda Bhakti Marga. So they calling him Mahaprabhu. Vishwananda Mahaprabhu ki jai. Why they call him Mahaprabhu? He is not Mahaprabhu. If he is calling himself like God or what?
For us, it's pretty crazy. Everybody wants to compete with God in this world. The Mayavadis say there is no God, we are all God. That's the impersonalist conclusion. But to call somebody Mahaprabhu within our realm is very, very crazy.
And he making this all people like, you know, they all calling. There was 30 people foreigner. They totally completely calling him Mahaprabhu. Was so surprised, like wow.
Well, they're his disciples and he taught them to speak like that.
And all the time whenever you say to Hare Krishna, then they will say Jai Gurudev. Jai Gurudev. It was like wow. And he give the blessings by the eyes. There is one lady, spiritual master. She called herself a spiritual master. So she was, I was talking to her. She's the leader in India from this one, you know. And she was giving me the blessings by the eyes. I was like, wow, I never seen this something like.
There's so much nonsense going on. I know the group for quite a while. They didn't used to call him Mahaprabhu. That's a new thing.
Yesterday, when
Yeah, no, I know them from years before. That is a new invention they made. Was he there?
no, the deity was beautiful. But he put the Yamuna beside of the Radha. Yamuna Giridhari.